Hi, we finished restoring your machine and created this quick start guide to show you how to set it up and play. Now we've already attached the boards, the support boards to your machine and painted them like you requested, but for others who might be watching this video, you'll need to find some way to support your machine so it doesn't fall over, such as screwing some boards to the bottom or putting it in a cabinet. Now one of the first things you want to do is make sure that the ball drain lever is in the correct position, and that lever is a piece of plastic and it's a tab right here. Right now the position it's in, if you pour balls in the machine, they would come around this turn and they'd fall out the machine. So what you need to do is slide this tab over to the left. Okay, now the machine is locked and we can load balls. The number one problem with Pachinko machines is the one ball seesaw being in the wrong position. It's inside of that clear square window on the left. I'll zoom in so we can see it. There is a piece of plastic that has two balls in it that act as counterweights. This piece of plastic back here, it pivots and tips back and forth. Right now it's in the wrong position, and if you got jackpots, balls would just start to back up in your machine, causing jams and other problems. So we have to reset that seesaw. And the way we do that is we push this plunger here, we push it up, and now that seesaw is in the correct position. One thing interesting about your machine, doesn't have any lights, so there was nowhere to hook up light bulbs so they flash when you get a jackpot. Now you did have a switch down here, and that switch was activated so when the machine was in the wall in Pachinko Parlor, if someone was trying to break into the machine and they could open it up, then that switch would activate an alarm. Of course you don't need that for the home use, and since it didn't work I went ahead and removed it. Because you don't have a light on your machine to tell you when it's out of balls, there's only two ways to be able to tell that you need to reload your machine with balls, the supply tray and back. The first is this window here. When it gets in focus, if it gets in focus, there's a little clear window here, and behind that window is where the supply tray is, and you can see the balls actually in there when we add them. So if you look in that window and you don't see any balls, you know you need to add it. The other way is if you ever get a jackpot and it doesn't pay out immediately, then stop playing and refill it with balls, because if you keep playing and keep getting jackpots without having balls on the supply tray, that's when you can have jams, and it takes a long time to clear those. We'll go ahead and load about 25-30 balls in the play tray and then go to the back. Now when we load balls into the supply tray, they'll run down this track. This just kind of gets the balls down to one level so that they're one level high when they make the turn around the track. They'll go through this track and they'll enter in a jackpot assembly back here. And that's where they wait until you get a jackpot. We'll pour in about 300 balls, maybe 400. Now we'll take the bucket and we'll place it here in the back. I drew a couple lines so you can kind of see where the bucket goes. That's to catch balls coming out of here and out of here. Okay, to play Pachinko, you grab this flipper with your thumb, put your finger, your index finger, underneath the finger rest bar, and then you pull that flipper all the way down to the bottom, and then you quickly let go. And as you let go, the flipper will flip back up real hard and it'll shoot the ball onto the play field. Now in order to aim, so you can try and get the ball to go whether to the left or the right or the center of the play field, you pull it down part way, and you just experiment with how far do you pull it down to get it to go to the left side or the right side, and that'll be more important, as I'll explain later. The one thing though, people who don't know how to play, a lot of times they'll grab the handle and they'll pull it all the way down like with their fist, and then they will just gradually lift up. There's not enough power to launch the ball onto the play field, so they can get balls stuck in the shooter lane by doing that. So you don't ever want to go up slowly, you want to go up fast. When you launch the ball, it'll come up the shooter lane here, it'll go out onto the play field, it'll hit a rebound bumper here, and it'll bounce off, and it can fall in any of these places. So now you shoot the ball, it'll bounce off of these brass pins, these nails, and it'll ping down the machine. These round circles here are called spinners. It can hit the spinner, which will redirect it, and most of the time what will happen is the ball will end up dropping all the way down, and it'll exit to the back of the machine right through this outlet here. When it does, it'll fall in the bucket you placed in back. That's why that's important. And that's called losing. Now you want to win, and the way you win is you get the ball to go into one of these pockets or one of these tulips or the main attraction here. The way these tulips work is right now they're closed. There's two little orange pieces of plastic that's closed. When a ball goes in there, it'll open up. Next time a ball goes in there, it'll close. So it's one time one way, one time the other. Now some of these machines have features. Now no matter which pocket you get it in, you get paid out the same. However, if you get a ball to go into the center, it tends to open up. It may open up various tulips kind of as a feature or special of the machine. Also, when you get a jackpot, you can see actually the balls in here. They will drop out. That's an assembly in back. They'll drop out. They'll hit the bell in back, and they'll come to the play tray at front. So the noise you hear is basically just the balls banging off the bell. Now, if you get too many jackpots, this tray will start to fill up, and once it's full and you get a jackpot, instead of the balls coming here, they actually fall through the back and into your receiving tray down here. So when that starts to happen, you know this is too full, you can empty this tray by sliding this lever here over to the left. Now when you do, the balls may not roll down here at first because the weight of the balls may cause them to jam. In which case all you need to do is take your finger, kind of loosen the weight of the balls. You may actually have to flip the flip or two to get them to go down. Let's see. Yeah, nothing's happening. So I'll take my finger. I just want to point out, if you get a ball in this pocket, it opens this one. If you get one here, it opens this one. And this one here, it's got two green tulip wings. So it's got a neat operations. It's open, you get a ball in, one side will close, you get another ball in, the other side will close, but this side will open, and then you get another ball in, and then they both close, then you get another ball in, and they all open again. So it kind of rotates through several different cycles here. Let's start playing. Okay, we had a ball go on this tulip, it closed, and we paid out a jackpot. Let's take a look at the back to see how the jackpot works. Okay, I'm going to drop some balls in, and when I do, you should see them roll down this track here, and they will enter in the seesaw, causing it to pivot, and then the ball will roll out, roll down this track, and then come out here. There's a long arm back here that goes all the way across. That arm will pivot down, and it'll stay there for just a second. And as that arm pivots, it'll pull this arm here, pulls all these levers here, which activates this jackpot. And when that happens, the balls fall out of the jackpot, and come over here, hit your bell, and go out to the front of the machine. I'll do it a few times. Okay, because the play tray was full in front, those last few balls came to the back and went down to the receiving tray. That about covers it. Now these are mechanical machines with lots of levers and moving parts, and they are pretty old, so things can go wrong from time to time. So we've included our instruction DVD, which has several hours of information on how to troubleshoot and take care of your Pachinko machine. Thanks so much, and we hope you enjoy.